Okay, so here, right after loosening exercises, this is the side loosening, we proceed to simply throw arms in the form or shape of water element hands. This sideways movement generates fire element hands, okay? This sideways loosening movement generates the power, I would say maybe not power, but force and speed necessary to achieve the basic beginning level of the fire element hands, and they should be done relaxedly, like throwing hands upward, and of course palms facing forward. I'm sorry for this video has a light right behind my head. I recorded it from a different camera and I couldn't see myself. Immediately after, about 10 or 20 times, you start going for the quad training, or simply the hip training, turning movement, and proceed to also relax fully, without thinking of any issue of the power or speed, just relax fully, throwing the hands palms forward. Of course, the motion performing the fire element hands fully, which means the round block of both hands. One hand is blocking two ways, the other hand is blocking two ways. I will go into details of the fire element hands when I do the instructional video on each segment of feeding crane, but here we're just simply using this to help us exercise also the hip. Now we pivot to the left side or to the right side, and this is the forward and backward movement. We loosen the arms a little bit and then proceed immediately with fire element hands. This time I'm since my left leg is forward, I'm only doing this to the left side, so I'm turning only the hand. I'm doing fire element hands, turning the blocks to the left only. Proceed for about 10 to 20 times, after which you change the exercise to backward leaning fire element hands. That means while you're leaning backwards, so your power or the gravity goes backward, your body moving backward, you are proceeding power forward. This is very important to develop because this is very confusing for opponent or for partner when we're practicing this technique with partner or apply that. Relax in the position, turn to the other side very carefully. Check if you have the center and and if you do, start immediately the fire element hands to the right side, turning the arms towards the right, and if not, then adjust your center and proceed with the same training. Right after about 10 times, start doing the backward leading fire element hands, also turning hands clockwise to the right, since the right leg is in front. This doesn't have to be triangular stance, this is just simple, I would say in Chinese gongbu, or simply forward stance, or zenkutsu dachi, but you know, this is short zenkutsu dachi, not very precisely. Basically forward foot facing to the front and back foot facing 45 degrees away. Keep center and proceed to the other side. Now I'm going to proceed with a single-handed fire element hands. Left hand, right hand, left hand, right hand. They both can do the block to the outside, or as the movement of fire element hand suggests, left hand is going for the block outside and strike, right hand is going for the block inside and strikes. And after 10 or 20 repetitions, start doing the same. Single hand fire element hand, and in backward leaning motion, also left and right. Gently turn to the other side, adjust the balance and your center, and proceed forward with the right leg forward leaning stance, and forward leaning fire element hands. Here's a little bit adjustment of the blocking hands to check the correct movement, and immediately start with the fire element hands. Right hand block outside, and fire element hands left hand blocks inside, and proceeding with single hand fire element, or simply palm strike, would say in English. Now the same thing we repeat with the backward leaning. That means body leaning backward, while the power of the strike, or force of the strike, is issued forward. So two opposing ankles, they also produce different results. Gently adjust the stance, and we proceed from to the middle. Make sure you have balance. And now we're going with a full power, or I would say full speed, because power shouldn't be the issue, but maybe not even speed, but basically the like at the first time we did about only 30, 50, 60% of power. Here we're going about 80, 90. Never do 100. Never do 100. Always have some room to go. And after 10 normal ones, I proceed with the 10 with a sinking power. So means my body sinks while I strike with the fire element hands. And then I proceed for 10 with floating power. That means I am lower, and as I strike, I'm going higher. But this should be done. The force of the strike, of the technique, should move the body upward. And now the same I repeat with a single fire element hands. Now it's just without block, just simple strike forward. It's very important to keep the shoulders relaxed. It's rather difficult to do. And now with the motion of the fire element hand block, we're proceeding with the strike right and left. And after 10 times we're trying to do single fire element hands 45 degrees. First just loosely, and then with the full force and with full block 45 degrees upward. And then double fire element hands 45 degrees away. This produces very different power, which you can see the body goes like into X position, which is rather difficult to describe. So now I proceed to the side element hands. Now this is different because the the fingers are not pointing upward, but actually sideways forward, since it would be very difficult to implement any force or comfortable movement with the fingers pointing upward. It will reduce in power. And now I'm doing the same with the full block. As you see, this is floating power employed here. A floating movement employed for development of power. And now both hands, double-handed fire element hands, sideways. This also produces very different power, very different feeling. I keep using power because English is kind of limited to describe. I would say it is a power, it is a force, it is a speed, but it is very difficult to describe, rather a movement. And now I'm finished with the forward fire element hands to end the exercise or training of fire element hands for a day. and a little bit softer. This is also very important at the end to see how can we issue power using soft motion, using slower and soft motion. So that means, can I push the person, not with physical force, but did I develop anything that can actually let me know that my body is relaxed? I'm not using shoulders. At the same time, I am able to feel that there's still power, still some force going outward, and kind of confident that I can apply this on partner. Of course, with partner training it will be tested. Also, this calms down the breathing. And then just very simple fireman hands. As you see here, just the motion of pushing, it is the same as you would say in Xing Chen or in Tai Chi, what they call An movement. So like I said, martial arts are similar. This is only so many ways that human body can be moved, and also looks like, not only one person came to discover some specific idea or specific technique. So sometimes we slow down the movement, we can see clearly. Of course, if we cross-trained with various systems, we can see how the movement is performed in a very different way with a very different meaning. And that's it for today. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.